Hi, I'm JC, and this is Dad Bod with JC. I'm doing this daily workout to be more fit, lose a little weight, and feel a little bit better, actually, health-wise. Today, I'm going to be doing core exercises. I did these same core exercises, same set of core exercises about 7 days ago or so, and I'm going to do them again. See if I can do them better this time. I'm going to add a few reps to what I'm doing, and otherwise, I'm pretty much ready to get started here. I always like to start with a little bit of stretching. My calves are always a little tight, so I'll give my calves like a 30 seconds of stretching here, one each, and then get ready to go. But if you have any comments or concerns or anything you wish to share, just put it in the chat window. And at different points in time, I'll walk closer to the camera and take a peek at what chats might be up there. I'll answer what I can, and I'll do the best I can, like everybody else. If you feel like giving me a like, a follow, a subscribe, go for it. Every once in a while, a dog might be coming through here. I have a couple dogs that like to say hi from time to time, so they may or may not join in. One or two of them joined in. I forget what happened yesterday, but sometimes they drop by, sometimes not so much. In any case, I think my calves are nicely stretched at this point, and I'll get started with my first let's see, core exercise for the day. It's a pelvic tilt or a glute bridge. I'm gonna do 12 of these, and I'm gonna do three sets of 12 basically. So for the glute bridge, I'm just gonna get down on my back and I guess bring have my feet flat on the floor up to about with my knees pretty much straight up, and then I'm going to be on my back. And then for the glute bridge, like most glute bridges, you just bring up your bottoms, feel the I guess the tension from your glutes, the back end, and then come back down. I'll do that 12 times. I'm going to have my feet about shoulder width apart, and I'm going to try to engage my core as best I can. So here comes 12. My hands, let's see, where do I want my hands today? I'll have them back around my ears, nice and loose. I'll try to make my shoulders relax. So here we go. 1. I'm going to count up 6 and count down 6. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And counting down. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. All right, that's one set. I got 2 more sets coming. If you want to follow along, feel free. All you need is a mat. And you don't even need a mat, really, if you're comfortable on whatever floor you're at or on. But yeah, I'm ready for my second set of the glute bridges. Coming back down, my knees are above my ankles. My back is flat, my shoulders relaxed. I'm going to keep my hands about roughly around my ears to try to stretch my arms a little bit. I'm going to engage my core and bring up for a glute bridge for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down, counting down from 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Okay, one more set coming up. Just gonna relax my core, relax my back. I had, I could feel it in my back a little bit. I could feel it in my core a little bit. Definitely at the top part of my legs up here, at the very top of my, quads. So the quads, usually when I talk about quads, I'm talking about down here, but I guess they have to connect up here somewhere, and that's more or less where I've been feeling that exercise. And I'm ready for the third set. All right, going back down. Feet shoulder width apart, knees above the ankles. My hands, I'm going to keep them up around my ears. I'm going to relax my shoulders a bit. I'm going to engage my core, tighten my core, and bring up my glutes for the glute bridge for 12 of these guys. 6 up and 6 down. So 1 up for 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. And 10. I didn't do the countdown, but that's okay. I'll stop at 12. 11. And 12. Instead of focusing on the count, I was focusing on engaging my core. I felt a decent amount of engagement there. Felt good, really. So that's it for those for the glute bridges. I'm going to take a sip of water. Next up is the standing side bend. I did something very similar yesterday as the a reaching side bend where I would grab my hands above my head. Today's the standing side bend. Instead of grabbing my hands, I'm going to press them in like one of those yoga poses. Not very different, but this time the focus is more on my core, so I'll focus in on engaging my core a little bit. Yesterday's was more of a stretch. I wasn't focusing on engaging my core as much, so it should be somewhat different, although, mechanically it's close to the same. I need lots of water for that one. Okay. Standing side bend. So I'm going to go 8 to each side. Going to do 3 sets of these. So my feet are about shoulder width apart. Going to reach up my hands above my head here. Just going to press them together at the palms. Now I'm going to choose a side. I'll choose over here and start stretching that way while engaging my core. So the focus here should be my core, and engaging the core. And as my core is engaged, yesterday's was a stretch, so I could go. I was actually able to stretch a bit further than here. Right now I'm engaging my core, so I'm not going as far. I can feel a lot of engagement here, so I'm going to keep this here for a full 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now slowly back up to neutral. And back over to the other side. Engaging my core, focusing on my core, not as much the stretch, more focusing my core, feeling, making the motion happen. So my core is pretty much engaged here. I'm over as far as I'm probably going to go here. So I'll count down from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back up to neutral. Oh my. All right, felt some good engagement there on both sides. I'm gonna let go of my core here for a second. Just let it simmer down. It was catching fire there for a second. So I'm gonna let it relax. Maybe take a couple breaths. And I'll go do that again. Another 2 sets of that. All right. So, getting started here again. Pressing my palms together up above my head. Gonna tip over to one side with my core engaged. Once I get to where I'm going, I'll hold for an 8 count. The focus here is engaging the core. So as soon as I can, I've gone as far as I can, with as much engagement of my core as I can. I'll count down from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back up to neutral. Nice and slow. I'm in neutral. I'm gonna start heading the other side. Trying to keep my shoulders relaxed, away from my ears, and coming back off to the other side. Working on keeping my core engaged. It's harder than it sounds. And I'm about right, so I'll start my countdown from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Back up to neutral. Got one more set to go. Oh my. Okay, I really felt that, so it's a good feeling. In the past, I've had trouble getting my core exercised, really, engaging my core. I play tennis, so the core is really important for tennis, and I bet you these exercises, I haven't been playing tennis for the last couple of weeks, but with these exercises, I can't imagine my tennis game would get worse with more core engagement. I see these guys go around, they're just going side to side all the time, and that's how the game is played. So, okay, I need a couple more breaths of air before I do the last set of the standing side stretch, or the standing side bend, I've got it called here. So, yesterday I did something very similar, but that was a stretch. Today is a bend, so the focus is to engage the core, maintain engagement off to the side, and the first time I ran through these exercises, I didn't feel it a lot at the time of the exercise, but later that evening, I sure did. I had trouble like reaching up to grab myself a glass from the cupboard, and now that that I know how this exercise is supposed to go a little bit, I'm actually getting a little bit of dexterity. Like I haven't used my core. It's more of a me thing possibly. I haven't used my core a whole lot. So now that I have more dexterity with my core, or some dexterity with my core, I'm actually doing these exercises for real, and it's actually affecting my core, and that's probably a very good thing. So standing side bend, last set. Gonna loosen my shoulders a little bit. The shoulders should be relaxed. This is because the core is supposed to be the focus of the exercise. So I'll reach above to get my palms above my head here. Now they're touched, shoulders relaxed. Elbows kind of, should be in more or less a plane with the rest of my body. And I'm gonna start bending off to my first side here. So the focus here is again, engaging the core. And it's actually feeling engaging to the core here. Last time around, didn't quite feel that way, but this time for sure. Okay, now I've gotten to where I'm going, so I'm going to hold for an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back up to neutral. A little bit of fire on this side. Now I'm back at neutral and I'm going to go off to the other side. Shoulders relaxed still, engaging my core as best I can. It's difficult. The moment I lose focus on my core, it loses focus to the exercise too. But I'm engaged now. I'm about as far as I'm going to be able to go on this side for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back up to neutral. I'm actually pretty excited about going back to play tennis. I haven't played tennis in a couple weeks, and all these exercises, yeah, they're bound to do something. Watch, I'm gonna rip a muscle. All right, next up, the quadruped lift. So for the quadruped lift, it's just about getting on the floor and like a cat-cow position on all fours with the knees below the hips, wrists and hands below the shoulders, and lifting an arm and a leg, opposite arm, opposite leg at the same time, off like this, and just doing it 6 times, but I'm going to do 4 sets of 6. I remember about a week ago when I did this set of exercises, I had a lot of trouble with the quadruped lift. I had some tweak in this hand right here. The wrist wasn't feeling right. I hadn't stretched it. That's what it was. I hadn't stretched it. So I'll do a quick couple stretches for my wrists. So for this, I'm just going to press my wrist towards my forearm for a few seconds. Not to the point of any pain, just for a point of stretching. And then press my wrist backwards to the forearm to open it up for a few seconds. And now I'm going to switch up my now I'm going to switch up wrists to the other side. So I'm bringing this wrist back up towards my forearm, and then pushing it back towards here, towards the forearm. So just flipping it back and forth a little bit, just to loosen it up. Make sure there's no hitches or tightness that's going to go unexplained. Okay. So my wrists are in good shape. Also, I want to stretch out a teeny bit for my, since I'm going to be on all fours, I want to do just 2 or 3 cat-cows real quick, just to stretch out my core here before I start lifting away like this. So I'll run through, I'll say 4 cat-cows. So for the cat-cows, it's basically the same starting position as the quadruped lift. My wrists are below my shoulders, my knees are below my hips, and at least I think they are. I'm doing the best I can. Knees about shoulder width apart here, and then I dip down for the cow, and I spike up for the cat. I'll do that 3 more times here. Dip, cat, cow, cat, and 1 more cat, cow, cow, cat. All right, that felt good and useful. Looks like I'm gonna need a little bit more room over here. So okay, here we go. So now I'm gonna start the quadruped lifts. Like I said, I'm only gonna do 3 on each side. for the set. But I had trouble with this last time I tried it, so hopefully I won't. This wrist wasn't feeling too well. It's still not feeling well right here, even in this position. But we'll give it a go. So, I'm banging in against the back wall here. So I'm gonna move up a little bit. So lifting up 2. So one of my arms comes up. The opposite leg comes up. So that's 1. Comes up nice and slow, nice and controlled. This is a core exercise. So I'm going to try to control all these motions through my core. It's a bit of a challenge. So that's 2. 3. It's 4. It's 5. That's 6. Towards the end of that set, I'll take a few breaths between sets. Towards the end of that set, I finally started feeling some action here in the core. I was really struggling to find core, where my core was putting out effort or work, but at the end of the set, I started feeling it, like just right off the side of the core here. There's a little bit of action crisscrossing, depending on which side I was stretching. But done with the first set. Moving off to set number 2 of the quadruped lifts. Shoulders above the wrists, knees below the hips, and starting, lifting my arm and the opposite leg, bringing it back down for 1, other arm, other opposite leg, bringing it back down for 2, arm, opposite leg, bringing it back down for 3, other arm, opposite leg, bringing it down for 4, arm, opposite leg, down for 5, other arm, opposite leg, down for 6. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. I was coming in and out with my core. I could feel some of those. I could feel in my core. Some of them I couldn't. It was just a matter of focus. So I gotta focus some more. If you're following along, yeah, you can let me know if you're having the same struggles. Just feel free to comment. And some of them I can feel, but I mean, I really gotta focus, and it's not easy to do. So that was set 2. I'm on to set 3 of 4 of the quadruped lifts. Here we go. Oh, I'm gonna stretch my wrist a little bit. Here we go. 3rd set. Shoulders above my wrists, knees below my waist, my hips, and arm and opposite leg. Other arm, opposite leg, lift. That's 2. Arm, opposite leg. That's 3. Other arm, opposite leg. Come back slowly. 4. Arm, opposite leg. That's 5. Other arm, opposite leg. That's 6. All right, that was the 3rd set. So again, it's kind of hit or miss. I can feel it in my core. Can't feel it in my core. I'm focused. My focus goes elsewhere. I'm feeling different muscle groups act. As I'm raising my arms, I can feel the arms sometimes. As I'm raising my legs, sometimes I can feel my legs really good, sometimes not so good. And again, the core. So this is I mean, it's a simple exercise, but for me, it's extremely challenging. I don't feel it all that well, and I think as time has gone on, I did this same exercise about a week ago. I'm doing it now. I'm able to feel what muscles are activating and not activating and whatnot. It just I'm developing a feel for it. It's not something I picked up real easy, let's say. All right, so I'm done catching my breath. Back down for the fourth set of quadruped lifts. So here I'm getting back down with my wrists below my shoulders, my knees below my hips, and my arm's gonna lift opposite my leg for 1. Other arm, other leg for 2. Arm and leg for 3. Other arm, other leg for 4. Arm and leg for 5. Other arm, other leg for 6. All right, so that was 4 sets of that. Felt really good. I focused in more on the exercise. I didn't get great engagement with my core, but I got some, which is way better than I had been doing in the past. I mean, in the past, I hadn't really, in the last week's exercise, I barely felt it. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. This time around, I'd already done it a few times, obviously, and I was able to engage my core a little bit, or what I thought was engaging my core a little bit. Hopefully, next time around, I come back to this, I'll do that much better. All right, I need a sip of water. Oh boy, here we go. Next up is the modified side plank. So with a modified side plank, it's not a complete side plank. It's a complete side plank, or just a regular side plank would be, my feet would be on their side. I'd be touching the edge of my feet and my elbow on the floor. With a modified side plank, it's my knees gonna be bent, and I'm gonna be doing the plank on the side like that. It's a core exercise, so engaging the core, and tightening it up like a crunch is what's needed. All right, so how many of these I got going? 3 sets of 8. So I'm going to do 3 sets of 8 of these. All right. So for this, I'll move over my mat a little bit more so it's easier to see. In between sets, I need to do 3 sets of 8 for each side. So in between sets, I'm going to angle my mat a little bit differently so that I'm basically facing the camera a little bit better. But I'll start on this side. Get on my side here. So again, this is a modified side plank. It's going to be, my knees are going to be bent here. My shoulder should be in line with this other shoulder and with my elbow. And it was easier for me to keep my hands straight out so that it would be easier to keep a straight line here. Now, while I'm keeping a straight line here between my shoulder, my elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, I'm going to focus in on my core engaging as my core goes up and down. It's kind of like the glute bridge, but just this one side. And get started here in a couple seconds. I'm going to go up and down for 8 times, and then I'm going to switch over, do the same on the other side. So up for 1, and down, 2, and down, 3, and down, 4, and down, 5, and down, 6, and down, 7, and down, 8, and down. All right. Oh, I felt that, that's for sure. All right, for this other side, instead of moving my mat around over and over again, I'll see if I can just crisscross this other mat and make use of it that way. Get squared up. Again, so one thing I didn't mention last time around, I'm going to try to align my shoulders, hips, and knees in a straight line. And then the other line I need to square up is from elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, out this way. So I'm going to try to keep a straight line this way through my shoulders and elbows, and also keep a straight line from my shoulders down through my knees as I come up for 8. So on this side, I'll count down from 8. So 8, engaging my core as best I can. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. I'll have to review the video, see how things went. I sort of felt like it went okay. Sort of thought maybe I could do better. I'm sure I could do better. But I'm just getting started with these videos, so we'll get things going. Get the technique down as I gather my breath here and get ready for a second set of these, the modified side planks. All right. Again, I'm going to try to make a straight line from elbow through my shoulders to this other elbow. Again, I'm also going to try to make a straight line from my shoulders through my hips, through my knees, where I'm going to do the modified side plank. Coming up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Doesn't feel so bad. All right. Here we go. Moving off to the other side, bringing my mat across. I'm going to try to make that straight line from my elbows through my shoulders to the other elbow, keeping my hand up, try to keep a straight line that way. And also keeping a straight line from my shoulders, hips, and knees in this direction. I'm going to do an 8 count, counting down from 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I think my knees slid down a little bit during that exercise, so it was harder and harder, progressively harder and harder to lift up my hips because my knees kept sliding. I should have paused for a second and adjusted, but I'll adjust next time, or maybe I'll just use this mat. I'll just turn this mat around because that mat slides a little easier. All right, here we go. That was the second set of modified side planks. Having a third set come up right here. Okay, gotta loosen up my neck a teeny bit. My neck tightened up a little bit doing that one. I think it's because of the sliding. Take a sip of water before I start my last set of the modified side planks. All right. Again, I'm gonna try to make a straight line from elbow to elbow through my shoulders, and straight line from the shoulders, hips to knees. And here we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That felt a lot better. All right, I'm gonna move this mat over. This mat might be better than the other mat I was trying to use, so I'll give that a go, see if this helps me out. If it's not the mat, it's kind of holding things differently. We'll see. Straight line, elbow to elbow through my shoulders. Straight line from my shoulders through my hips, through my knees. And up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that felt great. It's the mat. That mat's good for some things, but apparently not this. Okay. Next up is the chair crunch. Gonna do 10 of these guys. So I'm gonna grab a chair, I'll grab a sip of water. There's a ton of fur here. Couldn't help to notice the massive amount of fur here. So it's a chair crunch. I'm gonna do 10 of these, 4 sets of 10. Whew. Need another sip of water here. These core days, it's hard for me to engage my core, so I'm focusing more on it. But well, now that I'm feeling it more, the core days are getting a little tougher. Okay, so chair crunch. For these, basically I want to get to the front, get my rear end towards the front of the chair. Gonna hold slightly right behind hold the chair right behind where my butt is. Lift up my feet up in the air and roll in my feet, roll up my knees, roll up my feet, and crunch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and crunch down from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. I felt that everywhere in there. My back and here, my legs some. My shoulders some. My shoulders are supposed to be loose. I have a little note there. My shoulders are supposed to be loose. It's hard to keep your shoulders loose for that. You want to keep a nice grip. You don't want to fall over to one side or the other. Oh, look who it is. Look who it is. He's like, are you done yet? He's like, you better be done yet. He hasn't gone out for his what for the evening. Yeah, he knows what. He knows what. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take like 2 or 3 more breaths of air. Gonna let him do his thing. He'll probably run off here in a second, or not. Up. Okay. He'll go up on the couch, but this is no couch right here. A little bit of cushion, but not a ton of couch. All right. So second set of the chair crunches. So shoulders relaxed, hands holding behind my seat, legs out and crunch for 10, 9, 8. It's a core exercise. 7. So use your core as best you can. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, 2 more sets of that. Oh my. I'm gonna stand up, kick my feet out a little bit. There's tension everywhere around the core, so release a little tension. Just to wiggle my legs. I guess my arms a little bit too. 2 more sets of the core chair crunch. All right, here we go. All right. So off towards the end of the top or end of my chair here, holding the seat behind my rear end a little bit, bringing up my legs, crunching it out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 1 more set to go. All right. I've gone through all these sets a little bit faster than I thought I would. So what I'm going to do here at the end, I'm still going to have a bit of time at the end. So I'm going to take it from the top, just do 1 set of each. See if it's kind of rapid fire kind of deal. See how that works out for me. Grab a sip of water before I go to my final set of the chair crunches. This guy's getting a little impatient. It's okay. He's like, you don't need to do crunches. You don't need to do crunches. All right, I'm gonna do some crunches. Okay, so I'm sitting towards the end of the chair. Got my hands behind my seat slightly. I'm gonna bring up my feet above the dog and crunch up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Felt pretty good actually. Okay, let's see. Just set the chair aside. And like I mentioned before, I'm gonna see if I can do rapid fire through all these exercises I've done over the last 45 minutes or so. First one is a 12 count of the glute bridge. This guy wants to do some with me. Yeah. You stay over here. I'll do glute bridges over here. You do your downward dog over here. He'll do his downward dog over there. All right, here we go. Glute bridge for 12. So knees above the ankles. I guess one variation of this is to slide your hands underneath your glutes in between the reps. So up for 1, 2. I'm going to count up to 6, 3, and then count down for 6, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to count down. 6, engaging my core. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that felt pretty good. This guy, he's a good dog. If you're gonna give any likes, you gotta give some likes to this guy. Like, subscribe, follow. He is dynamite. All right, that felt really good. I'm gonna do another set of glute bridges. I don't want to stand up because I like having my little buddy next to me here. So, because otherwise I have to go look at my notes. So one more set of the glute bridges. So I'm gonna keep my hands underneath me here. My ankles below my knees, about shoulder width apart, and I'm gonna just count down, plainly count down for 12. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I felt much more in control of the glute bridge on that set than on the previous however many I did before. So I'm burning up a sweat, but I'm definitely feeling some improvements. The standing side bend is up next for an 8 count on each side. So here, I'll stand up right about here so I can go either side. Gonna press my hands above my head here. Just pressing them. This is a core exercise, so as I go off to one side or the other, I'm gonna try to engage my core as best I can. So I'm moving off to one side here. Once I can engage my core and get to where I'm going, which is about here, I'll count down from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back up to neutral. Sweat's pouring down everywhere. Going back over to the other side. Again, engaging my core as best I can. It's a core exercise after all. More or less where I'm gonna be. Core engaged for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up to neutral. I'm going to do one more set of those. That felt pretty good. take a couple breaths, unwind my neck a little bit, and get my hands back up for another set of the standing side bends. My hands are pressed above my head. My elbows are bent around my ears a bit. I'm going to go off to the side. It's a core exercise, so engaging my core, kind of like a crunch, but not really. It's off to the side a little bit. Just pulling my, pull, like sucking my gut in a little bit to engage my core. Now I'm more or less where I'm going to be. So I'm going to count from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. For that side. I got one more side to go. I wasn't quite done yet. Back up to neutral. Moving back over to the one side, the remaining side. Engaging the core. I've forgotten the core up until a second ago here. Engaged. Pretty much where I'm going to be. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back up to neutral. Okay, yeah. I really felt it that time. The sweat's starting to pour. It's starting to pour through the back of my head here. It's a good thing. Next up is the quadruped lift. Just going to do a 6 count of that, 3 on each side. I'll do 2 sets of those as well. Mat's not cooperating. There it is. All right, coming back down for quadruped lift. For this one, it's like a cat-cow position. Knees below the hips, wrists below the shoulders. And we're lifting an opposite arm to an opposite leg. So, and the small of the back's supposed to stay flat too. So up for 1, and down. Other arm, other leg, up for 2, and down. Up for 3. Down. Other arm, other leg. And down. Up for 5. And down. Up for 6. And down. My back, I felt my back stay pretty flat the whole way through. That's what you want. So I'm going to get out of that position for a quick second to catch my breath. I'm going to go right back in for the second set. The sweat's really pouring this time. I guess these are somewhat stretches as well. My core is pushing and pulling and just squeezing the sweat right out of me. Most people don't like that feeling. I think it works for me. All right. So the wrists below the shoulders, the knees below the hips. Quadruped lift, keeping the small of your back flat. Arm, opposite leg, up and back down, nice and slow. Other arm, other leg for 2. Slow back down. Arm and leg for 3. Slow back down. Other arm, other leg for 4. Slow back down. Other arm, original arm and leg up for 5. And back down. And last one, 6. and back down. All right, that was 2 sets of the quadruped lift. I think that was 2 sets. Whether there's 2 sets or not, I'll call it 2 sets. That one, I always, for the quadruped lift, I'm second guessing myself. This wrist, I wouldn't do it if I felt pain, but it's pain adjacent. So my wrist handled it better this week than last. Hopefully next time I give this a try, this wrist will feel that much better. All right. Next up is a modified side plank. I'll do 2 sets of that, and that should, maybe just 1 set of that. I don't have enough time for 2 sets, I don't think. So I'll just do 1 set, 8 each on each side. Do a quick, some quick stretching, and call it an evening. If you're following along, fantastic. Give a like, give a follow, give a subscribe, whatever works best on your end. For this modified side plank, I'm making a straight line between my elbows, my shoulders in between, and again a straight line between my shoulders, hips, and knees, or at least I'm trying to do the best I can with a straight line. And I'm going to go up for 8, back down, 7, down, 6, and down, 5, and down, 4, and down, 3, and down, 2, and down, and 1, and down. All right, I was sliding down a little bit. I had to adjust part of the way into that. I'm gonna scooch the mat diagonally to catch the other side. Elbow, shoulders, and elbow in a straight line. Shoulders, hips, and knees, hopefully in a straight line. It's harder for me to see that. Doing the best I can with what I can feel back here. And I'm gonna do this for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That felt pretty good. All right, running low on time. I always like to close out by doing a forward fold. Again, my name is JC, and this has been Dad Bod with JC. Hopefully I'll be getting better day after day, more fit, more healthy, stronger, better able to talk through these exercises. I'll try to freshen them up from time to time too. Again, I'm JC, Dad Bod with JC. I'll do a quick forward fold and then sign off. This forward fold feels great. All right, thanks so much. See you next time, tomorrow.